This is week 2 of our Ageless Style Workshop series, led by Lisa Wright. Today's topic is the closet audit. Before we begin, let's learn a little bit more about Lisa, in case you missed the first session. Lisa Wright has spent decades in the fashion industry as both a model and a photographer, beginning her lifelong passion for style to every role. She continues to model professionally, represents confidence at any age, and has dedicated years to nonprofit programs helping women prepare for work. Today, she leads workshops that encourage senior women to celebrate their personal style. So please join us in welcoming Lisa. And Lisa, thank you so much for being here. We look forward to the next few parts to this series as well. I'm sure I speak for everyone. I'll go ahead and pass it over to Lisa.
All righty. Thank you so much, Johnny. Thank you. That was fantastic. I just want to make sure everyone can hear me okay. If you can, just put a yes in the chat or a thumbs up or just something so that I can know that everyone can hear me. Fantastic, Millicent. Thank you. Great. Great, great, great. Awesome. So let's get going. Uh-oh. Let me go back. So this is our Style and Confidence workshop. It's all about exploring personal style and building confidence through fashion. I'm going to go ahead and get started today. Today, we're going to be talking about the closet audit. In other words, how we clean out our closet and also creating outfits from what we already own. Again, this is week 2. And the tech component today, which Johnny will be taking over later, is how to take fantastic photos with your cell phone and have fun with fashion. Let's revisit last week for those who were not here. We talked about discovering our personal style. And we mentioned that fashion is what's trending. Style is who you are. We also talked about personal style equaling visual, identity. We also took some time to reframe aging as a form of self-expression. We talked about challenging and debunking stereotype about aging and style. And we learned our style words. We visited some style archetypes. And if you were here last year, who was here last week? Who was here last week? Show of hands or thumbs up. Great. Oh gosh. Fantastic. And who's new today? All right, welcome. We also talked a little bit about building confidence with fashion, discovering or rediscovering what you like. Think about what clothes you want, what you want your clothes to say about you, which is super important. We talked about looking around for inspiration, friends, celebrities, people with great style on television shows. Inspiration is fantastic for refining your own style. Borrow, by all means. Style is not synonymous to any one person. Borrow a style tip and make it your own. We talked about dressing for the body that you have today. We talked about wearing clothes that fit and focusing on how you feel, not just how you look. And lastly, I encourage everyone to wear clothes that you love. So today we're going to be starting with what we already have, and we're going to be performing what we call a closet audit, which is basically just cleaning out your closet. And lastly, as I said, Johnny's going to be leading you guys with using your cell phone to visualize outfits and take cool cell phone photos. So part 1, cleaning out your closet. This is an arduous task. It is not for the weak, but I promise it is worth it once you do it. I always like to start with a quote. Your closet needs to be a place of joy and celebration of who you are now, not who you were. This quote comes from Stacy London. She's a stylist, an image consultant. I don't know, you may remember her from a show called What Not to Wear. It doesn't come on anymore. And she was also fashion editor for Mademoiselle magazine. So I agree, your closet needs to be a place of joy and celebration for who are you now, not who you were. So why clean out your closet? Well, it's great to make space for what you actually wear. Over the years, we can accumulate a lot of clutter. So it's important to clean some of that out and make space for what you really actually wear. It's a great opportunity to update your style for who you are now. It's a great starting point for rediscovering hidden gems, inevitably, and I've done it myself. I go to clean out my closet, I find something that I haven't seen in forever, and I'm like, wow, I didn't know I still had that belt. I forgot I had it. So it's your opportunity to rediscover hidden gems. It's a great chance to embrace sustainability and also feel emotionally lighter. Clutter kind of weighs us down. It's always a good idea to get rid of clutter and things that don't serve us. So these are the reasons that we need to clean out our closets. So, signs that it is time for a closet audit. Please raise your hand. If you look in your closet and you say, I have nothing to wear, but your closet is full, raise your hand. Number 2, I'm holding on to clothes for someday. When I lose 5 pounds, when I gain 5 pounds, when I go to that mystical, magical event that I don't even know about yet. Raise your hand. Fantastic. I still have clothes with tags. Many of us bought things, we hang them up in the closet, we never put them on. Who still has clothes with tags? And lastly, I feel overwhelmed when choosing an outfit. If this describes you, once again, raise your hand. All right, so we're going to solve some of those problems today. So the benefits of cleaning out your closet are, as I mentioned, less clutter, easier outfit selection, rediscover hidden favorites. We're going to align our wardrobe for who we are now. We talked a little bit about that, well, a lot of bit about that last week. And it is also an opportunity to sell, donate, or recycle unused clothing, which is always a good thing. So let's set the stage. As I mentioned, it is quite the task to clean out your closet. I do it myself. So what we're going to do is we're going to find a good, clean, clear space. Typically, it's your bedroom. And we're going to just pull everything out. We're going to pull out all our accessories. We're going to pull out our shoes. We're going to pull out all our clothes, just everything. So it's going to look like a complete mess, and it is, but we're going to fix it. So take everything out. This creates a clean slate and allows you to evaluate each item individually. We're going to divide everything into 4 piles. We're going to have our keepers. We're going to have our maybes. We are going to have a never wear, and then we're going to have the things that we want to recycle. Our keepers are the things that we actually wear. They make us feel good, they look good, they fit well. Our maybes are things we're kind of on the fence about. We rarely wear, but we are not quite ready to let go. You know, we may have to part with it, but we gotta struggle a little bit before we figure that out. We're gonna divide clothes up into our never wear pile. These are things that are in good shape, but you just simply don't wear them. And lastly, we are going to create a pile for the things that we want to recycle. The things we want to recycle are the stained, torn, worn out items that we know we are never going to put on again, nor would anyone else want them. So now we're looking at our keepers. Look at what you actually wear. Are there colors that you favor? Do you notice that a lot of things in your closet kind of have the same few colors? So are there fabrics that you gravitate towards? Are you finding that you're wearing more cottons or more wool or more silk? Are there fits that you prefer? This assessment will help you continue the journey of refining your personal style. So these are our keepers. So we're going to take our pile of keepers and we're going to sit them to the side for just a little while and come back to those later. Next, we're going to look at our maybe pile. And I want you to ask yourself these 3 questions about your maybe pile. Have I worn this in the last year? Does it fit well? And is it in good condition? Does it align with how I want to look today? So in other words, does it fit my personal style and my lifestyle currently? And that is number 4 as well. Does it match your style and your current lifestyle? If the answer is no to more than one of these questions, it's probably a good time to get rid of that item. Step 4 is we're going to decide what to do with the rest. If it's in good condition, but it's simply not your style anymore, you can donate to a shelter, a charity, or a thrift store. I'm sure you've heard the expression that one man's trash is another man's treasure. And if it just doesn't fit you anymore, someone else will enjoy it and get a lot of great use from it. If it's high quality, consider going into a consignment agreement. with a local shop or sell on platforms like eBay, The RealReal, Poshmark, etc. You can earn a nice little coin selling things that no longer serve you. If it's completely worn out, you can recycle it at a textile center or repurpose it. Old clothing makes great cleaning rags. You can use it to shine your tables and dust your ceiling fans. But there are stores like H&M and Levi's that offer textile recycling bins. They're huge on sustainability, and you can go and just dump your stuff off, no questions asked. So we're going back to our keepers now. You're going to identify items that make you feel confident and empowered. So our guy here, he definitely loves his suit. So this is definitely one of his keepers and one of his power pieces. And we're going to talk a little bit about that now. So you're going to try on every piece. Yes, every piece. Like I said, this is not a task for the week. You're going to be trying on clothes, looking at yourself in the mirror, seeing what works. So you're going to try on every single keeper, and you're going to look for power pieces. You're going to ask yourself, how do I honestly feel in this? Do I stand taller? Do I walk differently? Do I feel more confident? Would I reach for this item on a day when I really need to feel unstoppable? These are your power pieces, and you are going to create what's called a power picks collection. You're going to keep everything that you decided to keep, but you're going to have your power picks for when you really want to feel unstoppable. And you're going to take selfies or mirror pics wearing everything that you keep. Use them as visual reminders. Use them as cues for how you put things together. Months from now, when you're trying to figure out that outfit, go back to that Power Pick collection and look at that photo that you took. That's going to help you put that item together and walk out with confidence. So look for things that work and take cell phone pictures. I promise you, you won't regret it. So now we got all our keepers. We want to get them back in the closet. I recommend highly to put everything back by category and color. It just makes life so much easier. I have all my button downs by color, and then I hang them all up together. All my slacks by color, then I hang them all up together. All my blazers, it just makes everything so easy. And when you walk in your closet, you can just see everything, and that's important. And it's all color coordinated. It looks fantastic. Consider hanging items versus folding them. I know, space could be an issue for some, but if you can, hang your items up. It just makes it so much better, and you actually know what you have. Sometimes when we hide things away in drawers, we forget about it. Use uniform hangers to save space and create a clean look. I'm going to go all Joan Crawford here and say no wire hangers ever. I ideally use wood, but plastic works just as well, as long as they're all uniform and they look great. Perform a closet audit at least twice a year. Spring, summer, fall, winter. Now's a good time to do a closet audit. So I really hope that after today, you'll set some time, maybe this weekend, where you'll just go through everything and pull out all your spring, summer things, store them away. I talked about space bags last week, which are fantastic. They're like these huge plastic bags that you put all your stuff in, then you use your vacuum to suck all the air out of it, and it goes from like this big to this big, and you can just store it away easily. I'm not opposed to going old school and using a box. That's fine as well. Make sure you label everything so you know what's in those boxes. So when spring and summer comes back around and it's time to do a new closet audit, you know what's in that box and you're ready to go. Now we're going to create outfits with what we have. So we've done our closet audit, we have our keepers, and we're ready to mix and match and put things together. A great way to refresh your wardrobe without buying anything new is to experiment with new combinations and create fresh looks. So we're going to start with our basics, and we're going to talk a little bit about the capsule wardrobe next week, where I'll be introducing more basics and how to mix and match. But you can do that with things you have right now. Start with a solid color top, add a pair of jeans or trousers, put on a blazer or a cardigan. If you have a basic dress, again, you can wear a blazer with a dress. You can put on a cardigan with a dress. Creates a totally different look. Use a color palette, usually neutral. Our guy here, he has on a whole neutral palette and he looks fantastic. He has on a neutral pair of trousers. He's got on a nice pair of loafers, a belt, button-up shirt, a blazer. He looks great. Our lady, she also is working with a neutral palette. However, in this instance, she added a pop of color with her blouse. She looks fantastic. Layer strategically. You can add a jacket to an outfit, changes the whole mood of the outfit, a blazer or a cardigan. You can layer a shirt under a dress, ladies, or a turtleneck under a sleeveless top. There are no missteps here. It's just about mixing and matching, finding out what works for you, being creative, using your personal style, your style words, your style archetypes, your inspirations. So have at it, mixing and matching. You can use the 3 components method, a top, a bottom, and a jacket. You find those 3 items, put them together, add some accessories, you're good to go. A dress, a belt, and accessories, jeans, a t-shirt, and some jewelry. You can swap shoes and accessories. You can go from casual versus dressy just by changing your shoes. Sneakers versus heels changes the whole mood of the outfit. Adding a belt or a scarf always adds style. And you can swap jewelry to create different moods. Sometimes you feel understated, so you may wear very understated gold or silver jewelry and very simple earrings. At other times, you want to switch up your mood and go clunky and colorful with your jewelry and accessories. There are no right or wrong. It's just what makes you feel good and what looks good. You can use a style formula. You can wear a fitted top with a flowy bottom, or maybe a flowy top with a fitted bottom. Use neutrals and statement pieces. Accessories always elevate a look, no matter what you're wearing. Even if you are, for example, you're more comfortable and casual and you wear, say, a jogging suit. If I were wearing a jogging suit, I would always just elevate it by putting on a nice bracelet. It just elevates it a bit and makes it look a little more stylish and more, like I said, more elevated. You can use 2 solids in one pattern or one pattern in 2 solids. Our lady in the photo, for example, I know you can't see her entire outfit, but she is wearing a floral skirt set. And she decided to add a solid top. She added a necklace, some beautiful earrings, and I think she looks great. You can also use the color wheel when putting outfits together. Think about complementary colors. Complementary colors are opposites on the color wheel. For example, red and blue. Those are complementary colors because they sit on opposite sides of the color wheel. They go great together. You may want to use analogous colors, which are colors that are next to each other, like pink and red or red and orange. Those also make great outfit combinations. You can go split complementary. That's where you take a base color, say a red, and 2 colors adjacent to that complement. So it's like making a triangle on the color wheel. So you would go red and then blue and greenish blue, or yellow, purple, and blue. So you can also go monochromatic, which is wearing different shades and tints of a single color. For example, you may wear green. You may have on a dark green pair of pants and a lighter green top, and even lighter green accessories. Many people use the monochromatic color scheme with black and white. So like I said, there are just endless combinations you can use. I encourage you to use the color wheel. I do this often, in fact. Lastly, I want to talk about the rule of 3, using one article of clothing 3 ways. It's a way to maximize your wardrobe, make it appear as though you have more articles of clothing than you actually do. And in fact, this is your homework for today. The rule of 3. So in this instance, our lady took a black blazer. In the first photo, she wore it with a slim fitting pair of trousers and a white button-down shirt. She looks fantastic. She took that very same blazer in the middle photo. She paired it with a longer skirt, a larger handbag, and she's ready to go. Those two outfits don't look similar at all. The only common denominator is the blazer. In the third photo, again, she took a blazer, put on a t-shirt underneath, a pair of jeans. She's got her oversized handbag, and she looks great. These three outfits have nothing in common. If you saw this woman on 3 different occasions, you would say she had on 3 different outfits. The one common denominator is that blazer, and it makes her look like she has so many more clothing and outfit choices than she actually does. The same for men. In the first photo, our gentleman is very classic. He has on the suit, the tie, and the button-down shirt. The guy in the middle also has on a button-down shirt, but he paired it with a more casual blazer, a pair of trousers, some really fun polka dot socks, and a nice pair of shoes. In the last photo, once again, he's using the button down, and this time he's layering the button down. He's got on a white t-shirt, a pair of jeans, pair of loafers, and he used the button-down shirt to layer. So please maximize your wardrobe by using one item of clothing in 3 different ways. So some helpful tips for creating outfits with what you have. Remember that confidence and comfort are your new must-haves. We talked about this last week, how as you're developing your style and you're refining it, that you always keep comfort in the back of your mind. There's nothing worse than wearing something that's ill-fitting and you're pulling and tugging at it, and because you won't feel your best, you won't feel confident. Wear items that are confident, they make you feel good, and you're happy to wear them. Try styling tricks to elevate your basics. For example, you can tuck, it's called tucking, where you take a button down, for example, and you only put one side in your pants. The rest of the button down is flowing freely. Let's see, what's another great way? Cuffing. You can cuff your pants. You can cuff a blouse. In fact, my shirt today, I cuffed it up. Great with jeans to do. Great tip for jeans. Um, Use accessories. Accessories elevate a look. Continue to look for inspiration and recreate those looks using what you already own. So what if you copy someone's style? Do you like it? Can you adapt it to what you like to wear and how you like to wear it? Do that. Take photos of outfits that you love, save them in your phone, and challenge yourself to wear everything you keep at least once in the next 30 days. Use that rule of thirds. And please remember that style is ageless, and so is self-expression. So, to recap, you're going to go and do your closet audit. And I'm counting on you. I want you to post in the community group that you've done this, and we'll talk about the community group in just a few minutes. But doing a closet audit helps declutter, and it makes space for what you actually wear. Helps you feel emotionally lighter. Helps you update your style for who you are today. It makes outfit selection easier. It's an opportunity to sell, donate, and recycle. Remember, one man's trash is another man's treasure, and it is someone who loves that blouse that is not your style anymore. They would love to have it, and they're waiting on it. Perform a closet audit twice a year, spring and summer, fall and winter. We're going to create outfits with what we have. We're going to start with our basic. Usually those are solid colors. And we're going to be talking more about that, as I mentioned, next week when we talk about the capsule wardrobe. We're going to layer. We're going to mix textures. We're going to swap shoes and accessories. We're going to use all our styling tricks. We're going to do what makes us feel good. That's why it's so important to take cell phone photos, because you may put together this fabulous outfit, put it on, look at yourself in the mirror and say, I love this. And when you're finally ready to put it on and go out here into the world and represent who you are, you have totally forgot, how you put that together and what you did. So take cell phone photos. Refer to the color wheel. Use the rule of 3. Create your Power Picks collection for when you really want to feel unstoppable. And as I mentioned, take the selfies. And you'll talk more about that with Johnny in just a little bit. So you're going to be using your camera phone to visualize outfits. You're going to be putting your stuff on. Put it on. Don't just clean it all up and hang it all back up. Put it on. See how it looks. See how it feels. See how it makes you feel. That's also going to tell you, is this something I want to keep? Is it something I want to donate? Is it something I want to toss? What do I want to do with this? Put your clothes on. Promise me that you'll do that. Please, show of hands, you're going to put your clothes on. Please. Come on, where my hands at? All right, there they are. Fantastic. And like I said, your homework today is to use the rule of three to take photos of yourself using one item 3 ways. And then please, please, guys, because so many of you show up here and you get this information, and I'm glad you enjoy it, and I'm so happy that I'm with you. But post at least one of those photos in Senior Planet Community's Timeless Fashion group and tell us about it. I went looking for you guys yesterday. I didn't see as many posts as I would have liked, but I am sure that this week it's going to be different. I'm counting on it. And I'm going to let Johnny give you the link for the Senior Planet Communities Timeless Fashion Group. Let's see. So as always, thank you very much. My name is Lisa Wright. My moniker is Closet by Coco. That's what my grandson calls me. And I'm gonna stop my share, and then we're gonna take some questions. Hang on.
And S. Stone had a question, what to
Okay.
do to recycle fabric? My township doesn't have anywhere to do it. And I remember you gave some pointers on what one can do to recycle fabrics. Do you have anything for someone who doesn't have a recycling facility like that for clothing in their city?
So I would suggest I would suggest making some calls, first of all, to maybe the local shopping mall. But it's hard to believe that nobody, especially as big as sustainability is now, and fast fashion and landfills and all the things, and how much clothing and fabrics and textiles that we waste annually. I'm really surprised that there wouldn't be any place in your town. I would start maybe with the local mall, making some calls and seeing if perhaps they can point you in the right direction. Like I said, I know that H&M, I don't know if you have an H&M where you live, or Levi's, they have sustainability bins where you can just take your things and drop them off. They're huge on, saving the planet from all the waste uh, that us consumers create. So, but that would be my first, or even, let's see, because that's a great question. Maybe even the city or town where you live, the local government. I'm sure that there has to be some sort of recycle or sustainability program in place. So I would start there.
Okay, thanks, Lisa. And Susan M says, as a woman, I find it too hot to wear jeans in Florida, even in our winter. Any suggestions for casual slack like jeans that is lighter and cooler to wear?
Um, so I love palazzo pants. They're my favorite. That those are like the wide leg, and they move when you move, and they catch the wind and all the things, all the good things. So I would look for fabrics that are cooler, that give me a little, that fit, because remember, fit is important. Don't ever wear anything that's too big, but that fit, but also give me some breathing room. Um, Silks can be good. Because I understand. I've been to Miami, and it gets very humid. So look for fabrics, breathable fabrics.
Okay. And then we'll go ahead and go to Thelma. Thelma, go ahead and unmute your microphone and thank you for your patience and waiting. Let's see. I'm going to, okay, you should be able to unmute your microphone now. There you go.
Okay, I think I did.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Yes, good afternoon. I thank you
Hi.
for this session. I've never seen it happen to notice on the week of things happening with Senior Planet. My question is this. Do you have that philosophy or theory? If you haven't worn in a year, you toss it?
I do, because, for a few reasons. If something's just in your closet, it's just, kind of collecting dust, and it's just in there. And if you haven't worn it, I feel like that's really not your style. At the time, a lot of people go shopping, and we make impulse buys. And I have done it myself in the past, where we see something and we're like, "Ooh, this looks really great. I'm gonna wear this." But in
Mhm.
reality, it is not really your style. And I encourage you to look at last week's presentation once it's up on the YouTube channel, because it talks about, we had a discussion about how to develop our personal style and how style is your visual identity and how you want others to see you and really how you want to see yourself. So I think a lot of people make impulse buys. They go to the store, they buy something because it's colorful or it's on trend or this particular celebrity or the designer told you this is the thing of the season and you have got to have this. Um, and we buy it, and then the shoes sit in the box or the article of clothing sits in the closet and we never touch it because when we put it on, we feel foolish. And even worse, we look foolish. And I just feel like if you haven't worn something in a year, you're probably not going to. That is 365 whole days. That's a long time. So that's why the closet audit is so important. Pull it out. If you want to put it in the maybe pile and give it another chance, you know, you can. But well, again, if you haven't worn, I think initially starting out, which we'll talk about next week, initially we want to stream down our wardrobe. And we're going to start with some basics. We're going to learn how to elevate those basics. If we don't have some of those items, we can buy them. And then we got to learn how to mix and match. I think that's super important. Taking an article of clothing and learning how to wear it in multiple ways. I feel like if you haven't worn something already, the likelihood is that you won't.
Okay.
You might surprise us.
Mhm. Great. Another good question from the chat room this time. Do you have any tips for us folks in Indiana? We have 4 seasons and we need clothing for all the seasons. And I don't know if this is something you already covered.
Indeed. So I'm originally from Michigan, so I understand. Um, Once again, I think it comes down to personal style. I don't think that where you say in summer, you can only wear X, Y, and Z, or in winter, I should only wear this and that. Of course, you have to wear clothing that is appropriate for the seasons. For example, in winter, an Indiana winter is cold as a Michigan winter is, so we have to be warm. In fact, this is my favorite time of year coming up because in the fall and winter, you're able to layer and, add things, sweaters and button downs underneath and coats and all the things. So I love this time of the year. I feel like fall and winter is when you can really get your stuff out of the closet and put it together. But if you like shorts, short sets or separates, and like I said, in the spring and summer, as I was telling the young lady from Florida, flowy skirts, flowy pants. There's always a way. I think you have to dress appropriately for the season, but I think not, I think I know style is very personal. It's more about what you feel comfortable in, what makes you feel confident. Of course, you have to wear clothes that are appropriate for the season, but whatever you wear, you have to make it your own.
Okay. All right. Hopefully that helped. We'll go ahead and go to Carol Kendrick next. Go ahead and unmute, Carol.
Yes, thank you, Johnny. And I want to thank Senior Planet, Nicole, and you, and especially Lisa, for these presentations. But my question is, I'm a retiree, and I spend a lot of time in sweats and in jogging outfits, even for like some of the activities, community activities. But I want to stylize it. Is there any way to stylize
Oh, absolutely.
jogging outfits?
Yes, ma'am. So that's what I talked about before.
Oh, I wasn't
So
here.
so I am an experimenter. So I will put on virtually anything and make it my own. There are exceptions, but I like to experiment with fashion. It's one of my favorite things ever. Um, but when I have to run errands or I'm doing something, I will put on sweats. I will put on a tracksuit. I will the the devil is in the details. It's the accessories. You may have on a pair of sweats, put on a statement necklace, um, put on a pair of statement earrings, tie a scarf around your head and twirl it around and make it fancy. Wear a turban, anything to elevate that look. A funky pair of sneakers, not the run-of-the-mill um, regular pair, in a color that you like. If your favorite color is pink, throw on a pair of pink sneakers, throw on a pair of purple sneakers. Uh, Add personality to that jogging suit. You absolutely 100% can. I love that.
One quick thing, would you put a pin with a jogging outfit?
Yes, I would.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. You take that brooch, that pin, you put it right up there. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you, Carol. And Carol, I'm glad you asked that question because actually I saw that come in a couple of times from a couple of different participants about stylizing your jogging outfits and jogging clothes.
Okay, and I'm gonna look for that picture in
Yeah,
the fashion group. I'm gonna be looking.
I
I
know that
see it.
jogging clothing came very popular during the pandemic. I remember
Absolutely. Indeed.
probably like designer jogging outfits out there too.
And there's this whole athleisure thing going on right now. So absolutely. Wear
And
that
folks,
jogging suit.
yeah, and folks, if you scroll through the chat room I forgot who it was earlier that asked about or having trouble finding like ways to recycle textiles and stuff. A lot of people shared lots of great advice. So if you're still wondering that, yeah, scroll through the chat room. There's a lot of great suggestions of where you can take your clothes, where you can donate it, how you can recycle it, on top of what Lisa suggested as well. There's a good question in the chat room, and then we'll go to Francesca after this. But from Bobby Evans, they say, I have a problem. I often go through my clothes and give unwanted clothes to a shelter.
Okay.
However, I always feel like I need to replace those donated clothes, so I go shopping, although I have way too many clothes already. Can you share a few suggestions on this?
Well, I want you to come back and see us next week for the capsule wardrobe because we're going to be talking about minimal pieces that you mix and match and what the color scheme for that is. Once again, I think a lot of times we shop impulsively. We get rid of a bunch of stuff, so now we got to replace it all, which is not necessarily the case, which was the purpose of this session today. It's using what we have. I'm sure you've probably got a lot of great things in your closet. You just haven't played with them. So like I said, pull everything out, get rid of, by all means, continue to donate. That's fantastic. And thank you for that. Because, in my current job, we receive a lot of donations for the organization that I work for. So by all means, keep doing that. You are helping people in ways that you don't even know, not just with the clothing, but with confidence and all the things. So please continue to do that. But I think that you probably have a lot of things in your closet that you can already mix and match and pull together fantastic look. You just aren't playing with it. You're not putting them together. You're not trying them on. Put one pair of slacks on, put on a shirt, take a cell phone picture in that, put on something else. Use an accessory, a watch. For men, men can wear pins too. What are those? The boutonnieres that men usually wear in a wedding? You can wear one of those at any time. That elevates an outfit like you wouldn't believe. You want to give people visual interest when they see you. You want them to look around, to take it all in. So by all means, add it, and they make you feel good. And when people compliment you, that makes you feel good. That knows you're headed in the right direction. I am sure that you have clothes in your closet right now that you can play with and create some fantastic outfits. Don't go shopping just yet. We all like it. And, I can admit that I do enjoy shopping, but we also have to be practical and we definitely should use what we currently have. You have a lot more in your closet than you think. You just aren't maximizing it to its fullest potential.
Great. Thanks, Lisa. And then we'll now go to Francesca. So go ahead and unmute your microphone.
Hi, Lisa. First of all, I want to thank you because last week I thought a lot about style. And from my 20s through my 40s, I always wore red lipstick. That was my trademark. And then I stopped because they say you shouldn't wear red lipstick after a certain age. Well, last week I had the courage. I started wearing red lipstick again.
All
It's
right.
great. It just makes me so happy.
Well, that makes me so happy. Wear your red lipstick, girl. I love that.
And the other thing I wanted to say, years ago, someone who was really into fashion told me kind of like what you're saying, to have sleeveless. She would say have sleeveless or have long sleeve, because long sleeve you can always roll them. It also cuts down on your wardrobe. And the other thing is, the thing about long sleeves, even if you live in a hotter climate, I do live in hotter climate, but the sun is so harsh that even sunscreen doesn't work. So I still wear long sleeves, but it's like a lighter fabric. But then in winter, I can put like a turtleneck or a sweater under.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
so that layering just makes less junk in the wardrobe. So thanks again.
Of course, my pleasure. I live in a hot climate too. I live in fabulous, sunny, nearly hot all the time, Las Vegas. But I still don't let that deter my love of fashion and my love of style. I think it's really about knowing who you are, you know, how you, like I said, how you want to show up. Your personal style is your visual identity, and we find ways to make it work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
To keep your hand raised, and we'll go to Janet Sitter. Janet, go ahead and unmute.
Am I unmuted now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, okay. I'm a mess.
No, you're not.
I don't fit any, well, let's say, I was a professor in a college, so I dressed professionally for years and years. And then I retired. And now I've been retired for almost 20 years. And I don't get to go out very often because I don't have places to go and stuff. So I'm casual all the time and I'm tired. I don't have any place to dress up for or people to dress for but me. And I'm just tired of looking like a bum all the time. So I need things at home that I could wear that are casual enough to just go around the house, but I don't look like I'm in sweats and that kind of stuff all the time either. Does that make sense?
It does. So what do you like to wear
What?
currently? So what do you like to wear currently?
What do I like to wear?
Mm-hmm.
Anything that's comfortable and fits.
So, well, so you're batting 1,000 just with that, because that's super important. So when you say comfortable and fits, what does that mean? Is that a sweatsuit? Is it a dress? Is it what is that? What does that look like?
I can wear both of those things if they're loose enough and they look stylish enough and I just don't look like I shopped at Walmart. You know what I mean?
Okay,
No offense to Walmart, but
so you mentioned that I'm retired. I don't go out very much. I really don't have anywhere to go. Well, first of all, you don't have to necessarily be going to a event or something to dress nice and look nice. You know, you don't have to be going to the ball, so to speak. Style is not about, you know, I got to get all dialed up for this event. Although there are certainly those times when we do have to zhuzh it up because we are going to a big event or an art gallery opening or whatever it is. But on the daily, most people aren't doing that. I don't see people with ball gowns on in the grocery store. So I think that you have to figure out what your style is, and you definitely have one. Um, and you mentioned comfort and fit. So those are you're already developing your style words. Style words are words that help you when you are headed off to go shopping or you're looking in your closet and you're trying to figure out, who am I? You know, what is my visual identity? So you mentioned comfort, you mentioned fit. Maybe you are also, but only you can define what those style words are. Maybe you're colorful, maybe you're fun, maybe you're um, chic. You know, I don't know. Only you can figure out what those style words are. Mess is definitely not a style word. And believe me, you are definitely not a mess. You just have to learn how to pull your looks together. You can wear a jogging suit, as I mentioned to the other participant, and put on a bracelet, a nice pair of earrings, wear a brooch, whatever makes you feel good. And that's really what style is. Like I said, identifying your visual identity. How do I want to show up in the world? How do I want to feel? And a lot of that work starts internally, even before you put the clothes on. It's about feeling confident. It's about, like I said, debunking stereotypes about aging and what we should wear. Our participant who stopped wearing red lipstick because a society told her or whomever that you can't wear red lipstick as you age, which is a total lie. You can wear whatever color lipstick you want. And I'm so happy that she started doing that again. So you have to find your joy. And from doing that work on the inside, you have so much to contribute. You've done so much already, and you've got so much more things to do. So discover what those style words are, how you want to show up. Like I said, use other people whose style you admire as inspiration. Borrow some of those looks. Lots of people dress comfortable and cozy and have fantastic style. Learn how to use accessories. And just, like I said, work on what's going on in here and how you want to show up in the world and how you want to feel about yourself and how you want others to see you. And take the negative words totally out of your vocabulary. You are absolutely not a mess. You are fabulous. Fabulous.
All right.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, let's see if we can try Thelma again. Thelma, go ahead and unmute your microphone. Just click it on there you go. Now, go ahead.
Okay, you can hear me now, right?
We can.
I'm a person that loves style and I love color. I don't like to be like anyone else. No one. You
I
said
love
something
that.
about a jogging suit, and that's something I rarely wear. I put on one just this past Friday. And what I did, I took a remnant of a turquoise piece of cloth. I wrapped it around my head. I put a pin that my sister-in-law made, and I stuck it right in the center. I'm a person, I'm e pluribus unum, which is Latin, which one out of many, that's the meaning of it. And I've always liked style. And I used to model way back in the day. And I think your clothing says who you are. I
It
can
does.
change in a minute. In a
It
minute.
does.
So I like positive things. I like color. I don't like black all the time, but you can do so much with black. So again, I say thank you. And by the way, I love your glasses. And that's a
Thank you.
nice thing to set things off. Glasses don't have to be prescription. They can be any
Absolutely.
type. Anything.
Right.
I
And
like
glasses,
anything different. I don't like
absolutely.
everybody else.
Glasses are an accessory. So I love that, Thelma. You're a woman after my own heart. All right, Miss Thelma. Thank you. I love that.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you
Thelma.
so
I'm
much.
glad we got your
I want
microphone.
to go back and look at the first session.
Right. Let's go to Ty next. And we only have about 5 minutes left before our 15-minute demo on senior planning community. We're also going to show you how you can submit to join in on the fashion show. So we'll take a few more questions.
Can I ask a question really quick? Me. So not yesterday, last week our demo was Pinterest. Just a show of hands, who actually got into Pinterest and downloaded the app and started pinning? I would like to know if anybody wants to share what your experience was with Pinterest.
Let's see. Now I have a bunch of hands raised, but that might have been for questions earlier.
Other questions, yeah.
So Edna, did you have any experience with Pinterest last week?
Yes, I downloaded the app.
Okay.
I went and looked at the fashion for ladies over 60 and 70s.
Okay.
I picked about eight or 10. I pinned them, I saved them and pinned. I couldn't do the board. But if I go to my phone, I can see what I picked. I have problems putting them in the board. I don't know why. I'm new to this, so that's as far as I went.
Okay, well, you did a lot, so pat yourself on the back for that. Try to go back in. But I'm glad that you even went and you saw some things. Like I said, we use Pinterest. I use Pinterest for inspiration all the time. I think it's fantastic. The more skilled you get at it, practice makes perfect, like everything else. So don't give up on it. Go back in. Create a board. You can name it whatever you like. You can even, while you're putting together these looks of your own, you can upload your own photos to Pinterest. And I know I'm talking way down the road there.
Wow, that's advanced technology for me.
No, but like I said, practice makes perfect. So don't give up. I just wanted to, speak with some people about what their experience was. Were they able to do it, and how did it work? So good job. We're getting there.
Thank you.
And there was a few comments in the chat
Oh,
from people who have used Pinterest. Leah W says that she found it easy and fun, great for organizing.
Good.
What TK says. Getting lots of ads now is what Elizabeth says, and yeah, I guess that will happen sometime. Rose says, I've been pinning for years and I love it for outfit.
Oh, good.
Yes, yes. And Elaine says, I've used Pinterest for a long time now. So
I'm
Carol,
glad.
with the app we were just talking about, and I just mentioned to Carol that, yeah, it's Pinterest. If you want to look that up. Okay, let's see. We still have time for more.
Yeah, it's my turn.
Hi, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I really appreciate your time for this.
Your patient.
I have, yes, I'll hurry. I have no issues dressing myself and rematching all types of things. Unbelievable how I can do that. Nevertheless, my thing is everything, everywhere, all at the same time needs to be decluttered. I understand did you go over this last week about time? When you tell me to take everything out, and I'm still working full time, I am a caregiver, I got mail from parents, all of that stuff. And I really want to get to the closet and many to plenty other things. Like I picked days to clean out the top shelf of my refrigerator, then on Tuesday, maybe the middle. So like that. But you said, and I know how people say, take everything out. If I take everything out, it's just going to be a total disaster because I don't have enough energy and the wherewithal to finish it in that day, the next day, even the day after. Do you have any suggestions on how to piecemeal this possibly, but get it done? Thank you.
Well, and I understand because it is
Thank you.
everything
Thank you so
everywhere
much.
all at once. I work as well, and I do other things, and and I'm a model, and I'm consulting, and I'm working, and just all the things. So, I'm one of those people though, I got to get it done. So yes, I did. And believe me, I wasn't finished in a day. So it took a while. And there was even a point where I had to put some things on the floor so I could go to bed at night. So
Okay,
it
so that's
takes
a
a
real,
while.
that's real.
That's a
Okay.
real thing.
Okay,
But
because I've been doing, because I want to get it done.
no,
Yes.
and you will. So maybe just start small. Maybe just take out all of your accessories, belts, earrings, bracelets, all of that. Go through all of that, because that's a start. And it's something that's manageable, and it's a small little thing. So
Okay.
start there. So let's
Thank
get
you.
our accessories together. And then after that we'll move on to blouses or then to pants or
Great.
but prioritize and even if it takes a while, you'll get it done.
No. Okay, thank you so much. It just feels like, just like you said, you want to get it done. In my head, yes, and I am that person, but it's not working. So yes, okay, back to the small steps.
Okay.
Thank you.
Baby steps.
We want to thank Lisa for your presentation. Thank you so much, Lisa, for your presentation. Look forward to next week's session on Monday. I already put the link into the chat room a little bit earlier. However, you can also find it on seniorplanet.org. Just click on upcoming online classes, and you'll find the next date for the third part of this 4-part series. Okay, so thank you so much, Lisa, for everything.
Of course. See you guys next week. Thank you so much.